what's been bothering me here as far as the charts are concerned is that we didn't get the 10 to 15% pullback that I was looking for. We did reach some of basically all the levels I was thinking that we would reach, but we didn't get the 10 to 15% pullback by May 1st that I was hoping for. That's not good. It's not a good thing. It's potentially pretty bad because in a healthy run-up, what you want is for the price to stair-step its way forward, right? So you go up, you'll pull back, you go up, you pull back, you go up and pull back. And when you get this sort of like eking out all the way up, you're exhausting all the buyers, you're clearing out all the short sellers. And then once the short sellers are gone, which is most of your fuel, then what? Price goes down. So that's been annoying. So let's just take a look at the charts from last week. Not a lot of trade setups for what we're looking for. So when we're doing our 50x trades, we are looking for pullbacks to the weekly average. So the last week started over here. So the previous week started over here. And we're looking at this period over here. So as we zoom in, you'll see that we were aiming for this weekly level to touch, which we missed. The 91.8 level we missed. Just like we missed the 84.6 level, and just like we missed the 80 level. Again, as all that happens, it's dangereux. If you'll just remember previously when we were looking at this, you don't see it here now because it's cleared, but the 74 level that was down here, do you remember how this whole time the price was pulling towards that level?
Yeah.
All the ups sort of failed as we pushed towards that level, and it's only we got near enough that it could get cleared by the yearly trend that we actually go ahead and clear our way to the top. So what we're seeing over here, that these weekly levels aren't touched, is because the shorts are being liquidated. So if we take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation charts that we can see on CoinGlass, and I've talked about this in the last few weeks, is that we used to have, like, let's say $4 billion or more worth of shorts versus a few hundred million longs. And we still have the same sort of number of longs, but we're drastically lower on the number of shorts. Here we're just doing a spot check on the different exchanges, but they'd be true over across different exchanges, different assets. You'll get the same sort of thing, that a bunch of the liquidations have occurred. So that means that's what a lot of this upward movement is. It's been liquidation of shorts. This is why
if it's liquidation of shorts, okay, so you're saying the shorts, why is it that the shorts are the ones that have the biggest buying pressure, or however you phrased it?
Well, you forget about shorts or longs. What matters is who's buying and who's selling. Shorts need to buy in order to cover their short position. Whether they're in profit or not, they have to buy back the short in order to realize their profits or stop losing. And the shorts, what they do is that in order to short, they have to borrow futures. They have to borrow futures for someone who's long, sell it on a market, and they have to buy it back from the market later on to give it back to the account that they borrowed it from. And this is called, that borrowing costs money. There's a funding fee to it. So just holding a short, whether you're in profit or not, just holding the short, you are spending money every day paying that funding fee. So you can imagine if you have, a $10 million short, you can be paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just holding that position. So eventually you have to cover it back, which means you have to buy back the $10 million worth.
But why aren't there people who are not short who are buying?
That's right. So that's the question. We're not getting that follow through. We're not getting a corresponding rise in the number of people who are leveraged longs.
Why?
They're just not buying. I can't tell you why. I can only tell you what, when, how, and where. That's it. And who sometimes.
There's nothing in the narrative. I mean, is Michael Saylor buying?
No, because Michael Saylor, when I was tracking what I thought were his trades, he always bought at the weekly levels. So whenever we got to Like you'll notice sailor buys like at. I don't want to go over that right now. I actually want to do that one of these days, but it's unclear whether or not he's buying in the open market. And if he is, I think he's still buying along VWAP. So basically, whenever the price pulls back like this in these levels, that's where he's buying from. So like over here, if we take a look at, let me just hide this. He's going to be buying whenever you see these bounces here like this at these weekly trends, and then it bounces up higher. And then over here, the weekly trend, and it bounces up higher. That's generally where those people are buying. Because you sort of want to buy without, they don't want this to happen. They don't want this to happen where the price just rockets up. And they're causing the price to go up higher, higher, and higher, and they're buying at higher, higher prices. Then their average price is higher than it needs to be. It could be millions and millions and millions of dollars that they're spending that they lose out on because they're not waiting for the price to pull back. Right, they want a dollar cost average in also when they're doing these. And Sailor's not like buying it himself, right? There's probably a third party who's set there. They have a mandate buy $5 billion worth, whatever he's buying of Bitcoin. But that's not what's happening here because we're not getting pullbacks to any of these levels that shows that that's happening. But what we are seeing is the liquidation of the shorts. So once that's done. So right now we're at, let's call it 2 billion. This is on the Binance exchange for the perpetual futures, 2 billion short versus 200 million long. We have here 4 billion short versus 500 million long. So there's still plenty of shorts to liquidate, right? That's why I'm saying that the price could definitely, is definitely likely to get up to this high level, 110 to 140. Definitely possible. And we'll take a look at that when we look at the trades for the week ahead. But I would have expected that with this move up, that the longs would have joined in and the long leverage would have been there in order to get these, to help propel the move up higher. Meanwhile, we're just like eking our way up.
Well, the longs have been waiting for you to tell them we've cleared the VWAP levels and we can go forward. So you didn't give them the all clear.
The all clear I gave is that this around 74 levels where it was going to be the low. That's the all clear you got from your boy, Sacred Prophet. Okay, that's what you got over here. That's supposed to be down over here. And so this move up is totally like, we knew like to expect this sort of move. We weren't surprised by this move up. But we like to buy in at the dips and we're not getting our dips there. I would not sound the all clear until we moved down to over here. Like if I saw this move, then I would have said, okay, 80,000, let's go. Here's your second chance. The van has hit the water. Here's your second kick. Go for it. That's not happening. We're eking our way up, but it's still possible for this eke up to happen all the way up to all-time highs.
Wait, so are you saying 220 is still in play?
Well, 110 all-time highs and like 140, 150. That to me seems more guaranteed. The longer the stair stepping happens without a pullback, the less likely it becomes. Remember, it's not a healthy move up. You're not getting joined in by a bunch of bulls who are helping to drive the price up first through spot and then through leverage. That's not happening. So it's not like this big army that's happening. It's the guy who runs out in the front screaming and he looks around and none of his friends are there. So once the shorts realize that and they turn around, the higher we go, we're gonna clear these levels. Like we're gonna clear them. Either that or the yearly trend has to cross over it. And that's not happening anytime soon. Right? Our yearly trend here, this guy is not clearing these levels anytime soon. Like that's a next year thing. If we keep doing this, then it clears it. So that's what I'm seeing here. So that's for the week pass. So if we take a look at the week pass over here, just to finish it up, what we see here is that the price, what it's been respecting is this. What's the yellow one again? The yellow is the weekly. This is the weekly volume weighted moving average. It's really been respecting that. So we got the week started. It tried to pull down to get down to this level. It didn't work. You see the level here that it got to? Yeah. Like literally on the nose. That's exactly where it hit here. That's exactly where it hit here. That is this is the 92.7, 92.702. That's the Seculum 3. Seculum 3 is all the threes are cyclical. I got to do a video one of these days just explaining what the 3s, 4s, 6, and 9s mean. But 4s are seasonal and 3 are cyclical. And they end up being pretty strong places where the price might bounce. They don't like define the trend or not, but they are strong zones where you're gonna get bounces. And so it made sense that over here we moved up. So the price moved up during the week. This trend that we drew sometime back, that got created from back over here with these two pivot points. This is back in December 2024. December 2024. That's the level that the price is respected right now, that trend level. So it bounced once, bounced twice, came back down, pulled down to this level, rose back up. Why? Because it needed to touch the one of the other VWAP levels, weekly VWAP levels that wasn't touched before. Remember, I said that the price is going to move into this area, and then it hit again. So that was at 96.5, 96.4. And then we had this other level of 97.5, which I also talked about, which would be the highest part of where I think the price could get to in this area, which is over here. It touched exactly that level. As soon as that was cleared, now we start moving our way down. And we moved. I've been short basically since over here. I shorted here and I shorted here.
So your signals or your indicators are still spot on.
Yes, but these types of shorts, this is not like the current week short, the current day short, right? Here we're just, whenever we reach one of these levels, an old level, from the bottom we short, when we get it when we rise from the bottom we short, when we come down from the top, we go long. That's just how it goes, because if it's gonna bounce, it'll bounce at that level. So that's why I short here and I short over here, writing this all the way down to over here. And where did we go? We ended up now we're right here under this trend. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And we're bouncing around the VWAP level for the week, the weekly one over here, but we're now printing a bearish. You see the red over here? This is a bearish VWAP trend.
I see it.
So it just started. This is the first real red one. We had a little fake one over here. Well, this is our first red block since a while now. For quite a while, for weeks.
So that's good. That means we might go drop down, catch those Pokemon and get back on top.
Yeah. So the ideal is that we drop from over here. That would be the ideal. That's what I'm actually hoping for. So we'll see. This is the weekly. The weekly trend is ending tonight at 8 p.m. The 8 to 10 candle, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. candle Eastern Standard Time. And what I would love to see is a fall towards that level. We clear this. I would want this basically clear, and that we drop all the way down through. Is that going to happen? Not likely, because when we take a look at the liquidity, what we're looking for right now, what we should anticipate right now, is this period of sideways action, sideways to up. So I'm expecting just like this middling thing happening over here until we break out. So we'll see what kind of levels show up week to week, but I think it's very likely that all we do at most is touch 91.8, stay sideways until the price breaks out May 20th. May 20th is when we should have the breakout that heads up to this level over here, which is 101.8. So that'll be right around here. So mark down on your calendars. May 20th, May 19th, May 20th is when we should see the breakout start, where we rocket up to at least over here. We do have 2 air pockets coming up, and that is a small air pocket over here on May 8th. That's in 4 days. And then another one on May 16th. So those would be dips that you can buy. I can't hear you.
The air pocket you're talking about is the dip in the liquidity at the bottom there.
Correct. Air pocket over here. Air pocket over here. This is why it's so important to get the offset right for the liquidity, because it'll give you the range of where that air pocket might actually be. You see where the levels are at the time, and can give you some short-term trades. Is that going to be a 10% down? I don't think so. If that didn't happen over here, then I don't really see it happening. But who knows? Could be wrong. Could be a catalyst. Could be a violent wick down. There's no way to know. Right?
I
These
need
things happen.
Trump to tweet or something like he's got
Well, remember
a great time to sell. That's what he should tweet. A great time to sell.
Right. Well, remember last time this happened over here, where we had a wick all the way down, then a close up higher, then a skyrocket up, and then immediately reversal down. Like, these things can happen. Like, if you think the price can't get to 80,000, boy, you better get yourself right with the Lord, because it could absolutely do that. It could absolutely wick all the way down there, just freak everybody out, and then skyrocket afterwards. No reason why it can't do that. We're dealing with closing values here, right? The chart here, this liquidity chart, deals with closing values. But sometimes whatever happens in Vegas sometimes stays in Vegas, bruv. So that can happen. All right, so I'm looking for, I already mentioned that May 19th, 20th is when we're going to expect the next rocket up. So wherever we're going to get any dips soon, that's where I would want to be adding into a leverage long. So in 4 days and in 4 days after that. In 4 days and then in 8 days after that, I'd be looking to add into dips. I do have buy orders set at 91.8, at 84.
Wait, just before you get into these buy orders, are we done with the previous week?
Yes.
All right. So previous week, what's the recap on that? Just want to cap off this clip.
Nothing really happened in the previous week. The price moved sideways. We didn't actually get to complete our weekly trade. And what the price did was capture the previous levels that we targeted last week as the upside potential. That's all that happened. Gotcha. So if you took those trades, great. It would have been hard, right? You'd have to take them basically at this level over here, which I don't normally point out. That's where the price bounced twice, and that's where you would have made some money to the upside. But that's that's one of the reasons to have the signal, these tools, so that you can make these trades on your own. I can't be calling out all these other types of things because these are other types of situations. I only really like to call out the daily and the weekly trades on Sunday Fuel, but these things, there's always setups ready for you to know to make money. That's it for us. We'll be back next Sunday with more Sunday Fuel.
We'll be here this week for Revelation.
That's right. We'll be during the week for Revelations. If anything like significant happens, obviously, if I'm right about anything, I'm jumping on. I'm going to do the laps, do the rounds. So you want to be right with me? Go ahead, take the trades. Follow my Twitter account at Sacred Profit.
There you go.
And that's where I put like my surefire trades. Everything I post on Sacred Profit is basically guaranteed profits. You don't want to miss out on that. Don't do your own research. I'm your research. And or the opposite of that, just for the government or CRA or feds or whatever, the opposite of that. I mean, do your own research. Everything I say is nonsense. You're going to lose all your money guaranteed. There, said it. We're going to be doing Revelations, Peter, from Consensus 2025. So excited. So that'll be fun. And if the dip happens there, you're going to find some Revelations on the floor of Consensus 2025. And if anyone's watching this and they know Charles Hoskinson, please reach out, because we would love to interview him while we're at Consensus 2025. No one loves you more than we do. No one understands your vision more than we do. And we are Cardanians, Cardanites, Cardawans to the core. So please send the word out to Charles. I've seen him do interviews with people a lot less interesting than me or Peter. So please just let us know. Actually, Peter, can you just name a few people that he did interviews with that were more boring than we are?
Can't even recall their names. They're so freaking boring.
Someone naming is Tony Pompliano, something like that. Tony, not even. Alex Friedman. No, he was an AI. Never mind. But we'll be fun. We'll ask good questions. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. Go ahead. Let's end the stream. Let's just cut it out. Let's just wrap it. Let's just go. Let's just be in the aether.
All right.
Sacred Prophet.
All right.
Signing out. Sacred Prophet. Signing out.
Okay, I'm gonna push the button
Signing
now.
out. Sacred
Okay.
Prophet.